Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 4 between MaNa and Mondragon. Game number 4 here on Xel'Naga Caverns, a very often played map. In fact, I feel like majority of games that I end up casting are on this map. I will try to alleviate that, though, because I am sick and effing tired of Xel'Naga Caverns. So game number 4 between these two players. It's been a pretty interesting, a very dynamic series so far. You know, all the games, you know, no two games that are alike, kind of like a snowflake, you know. No two games have been alike as far as just execution from both players and how the game progressed. So, been a pretty interesting series thus far. I've enjoyed it, and hopefully we can go out on a bang here. Hopefully this last game will be thrilling and exciting. Now, this was all recorded way before the Super Bowl, although I don't think that this is going to be published on the internet by the time the Super Bowl is started. So this is going to be a post-Super Bowl matchup for you guys. I feel like that's what it's going to be. So that's really good. I'm actually really happy about that. Hopefully the team that you were rooting for wins, so you're in a good mood to begin with, and you can really enjoy these casts. And if the team that you were rooting for loses, well, then hopefully this will help cheer you up. Hopefully this series of cast has made your evening that much less devastating. So a nice little scout here coming out for MaNa, moving across with the Overlord right now. Mondragon's probably going to be moving up into this position. We'll feel fairly safe up there, unless he does end up seeing Phoenixes or Void Rays. Then he's going to be one dead Overlord, and that could be a little bit problematic for him. Moving forward as well with the drone scout, going to be moving right into MaNa's base, and not going to be seeing much but the standard. Would like to see a gas steal. That'd be great. I haven't seen a gas steal yet in this series, and yeah, so that'd be cool. Let's see if we can do a gas steal today, Mondragon. Let's see if that's a possibility. Inside of his base, standard stuff. He's been doing this, opening every single game, going extractor, pool, getting that metabolic boost, and then transferring into an expansion. That has been his opening every single game thus far. Wow, very close to losing that drone right there. Does manage to get it out just in the nick of time. Going to continue to go forward, and is he going to go for that? Is he? No, he's not. Damn it. Come on, Mondragon. You're killing me. Come on, Mondragon. He does it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. That was pretty interesting. I didn't think my voice could get that high. Sorry guys. I'll continue to talk in the rest of the game in this very low, very deep, bass heavy voice that will make you feel a little better, a little more comfortable, make you feel like we're snuggled up by the fireplace here. No, I don't want to do that with you. Sorry. My girlfriend could go rip shit. So get a nice little extractor steal, continuing to do it. So Mondragon gonna be just going to be continuing to get that gas. And the point is one of two things. Not only is he denying the gas, he's also, you know, kind of forcing MaNa into a certain tech. And, whoa, barely tried to get down that assimilator, but extractor just going down right in the nick of time. Now, not only does he force a certain, you know, he pretty much guaranteeing that there's not going to be, like, early Void Rays, right? Because you need lots of Vespian to afford early Void Rays. But he's also going to see units, you know. He's going to continue canceling. He's going to be seeing the Zealot, and he's going to be seeing the next unit that's coming out. So it's going to give him an idea. But also he can cancel and try to run away from these units and get a scout of these next buildings, although I don't expect much of anything. But let's stop talking about that stuff over there. Let's go take a look over here. We are seeing expansion come down inside of his main base. Does have that first queen up. Not second queen coming quite out as yet. Has stopped mining here, so going to be droning up pretty heavily. Using all of those drones to make sure he's gathering resources, so he has extra resources, extra minerals to have more drones. So that's the idea. They want to saturate that expansion as quickly as possible. Also going to be able to afford that queen right away. Do have a few Zerglings moving forward, and oh wow, that was very nice. So because the Zealot was back here taking out that extractor, the front was wide open. There was just one probe there, and he did manage to sneak the Zerglings into the base. Now he didn't see much of anything, so I don't know if that was really worth it. He didn't see an additional tech because he didn't take a look down here. We are seeing these 2 gateways being dropped. Are we going to see a third? Quite possibly, or I mean a fourth. Are we going to see a 4th gateway or not? Or are we going to see, he might be even teching up. Let's take a look right here. Could be even taking up to a Twilight Council. That's a possibility as well. Now moving forward, we do have speedlings on the board right now, so going to do a good job of trying to contain his opponent right now. Very low on units. Would help deny any expansions moving forward. That's quite a lot this early in the game, to be honest with you. Typically you'll see Zerg. Oh, look at that second hatchery in the base. So going to be using that additional hatchery inside of his base. He will be sitting on 3 hatcheries for some more larvae. Another queen coming out over here. We're going to see another queen built over here because we do want a queen, 1 queen for each hatchery. Zergling staging up right outside of MaNa's base is going to try to deny from doing any expansions anytime soon. That is the goal there. Here we go. So there is that 4th gateway. So we're going to be seeing a 4 gate coming out right now for MaNa. So going to be pushing early. That's kind of a logical assumption. We can kind of assume that will happen. 3 sentries coming out. Point of that is to drop force fields and prevent surround from speedlings. That's the idea there. So we're going to see an engagement of speedlings, very wise to the fact that these sentries can make their surround very difficult. They are going to just be dancing around the fact of attacking. They're not actually going to be pushing forward quite yet. And here we go, expansion trying to go down, but no, Zerglings managed to block that. Sentries, Zealots, and Stalker pushing forward right now. So very tenuous situation right now. He wants to get that expansion down, but because of those Zerglings, he's not able to. Dropping down a forge, you're going to be using cannons for some defense as well, allowing him to get that upgrade as well. So that's the idea behind that, of course. So yeah, nothing going on there. Going to be some more reinforcements right now for Zerglings. Nothing else as far as tech is concerned over here for Mondragon. Again, these 3 hatcheries going to allow him to pump out quite a bit of units to both either saturate his bases. Oh, here we go, finally dropping the MaNa. MaNa dropping the expansion right now and feeling pretty safe at this point. Another pylon going down. Then he's going to start that cannon placement. Zerglings trying to move forward first round, but that range of the sentry and the stalker are going to prevent them from doing much of any damage there. So yeah, Zerglings just kind of dancing around this situation right now. We do have some Zergling spread here. I think he's going to be checking this expansion back here, or we'll be moving into the back wall area. Also probably checking for some proxy pylons. Hallucinated Phoenix going out right now, so good job there. You don't see that very, very often, but going to do a good job of scouting his opponent. We'll see exactly what's going on. So he's going to catch wind of this Roach Warren pretty much no problem, as long as he moves the Phoenix in the direction of that Roach Warren, because he hasn't checked it yet. So he actually not knowing. So it doesn't end up catching that Roach Warren. Is he going to move in? Please move in. You want to see exactly what's going on there, buddy. Zerglings moving in the back here, going to try to continue to deny any saturation of the base, and he is catching wind of that Roach Warren, so he's going to see these 3 hatcheries plus those Roach Warren, and the hallucination does drop, runs out of time right there. Now, what's happening at this point? Well, basically, you know, trying to deny any saturation here. That's the goal there. But these cannons are going to make that a little difficult. We do have Zerglings staged up over here as well, preparing to push in if deemed necessary, if he finds that he's in a situation necessary. Coming down with additional gateway as well. We're going to see some upgrades coming out. That'd be nice and fancy. Another cannon right in the mineral line. This obviously is going to inhibit his ability to gather here, because his units are going to have to move around the cannon, but he finds it worth it in order to stop that Zergling push. Now, it wouldn't have been the worst idea, I don't think, if we saw cannon, a pylon back here and then a cannon somewhere over there. That would do the same thing, and it wouldn't inhibit this gathering. But obviously MaNa decided otherwise. He decided that that wasn't the best course of action. And continuing here with this Phoenix Scout. Now this is a great method. This is a great tactic. If it's something you don't try in your games, try researching hallucination and then allowing you to hallucinate some units and fly some Phoenixes in your opponent's base. Very fast unit, and the hallucinated unit obviously doesn't do any damage, but it still gets the vision, and that's the whole point of it. That's the goal. Now we can see over here Mondragon is going to be coming out with this expansion, also having a bunch of spine crawlers for defense. He realizes that a 2-base gateway heavy push from his opponent could be very dangerous. We're seeing that Twilight Council come in right now, so we're going to be seeing some upgrades, maybe charge, maybe blink, or maybe going to be going for those DT. I would love to see some DT. That'd be fantastic. We haven't seen that in this series as well. So yeah, that'd be great. So rocks have been destroyed now for Mondragon, so he's going to be able to move his expansion right on over there and continue to expand, try to out-expand his opponent. That is, of course, his goal. Moving forward with his Zergling, going to catch that saturation there. Obviously managed to get away with just enough health right there. 6 HP left. You have some more Zerglings chilling out over here. 2 little Overlords scouting in the middle. Nice Overseer right there, sneaking right into the back base. So now fully aware, Mondragon is aware at this point of this gateway heavy mix, and here we go, Blink going down. So going to be trying for Blink Stalkers. That is MaNa's MO at this point. We can see coming out with some more Stalkers right here, and a Robo coming out. So I'd like to see an Observer. That'd be great, because what he would be concerned about is something like Burrowed Roaches. Again, he did see that Roach Warren, so he's fully aware of that. Are seeing that melee damage upgrade though, so not actually, maybe not thinking about heavy Roaches. With that, he's probably considering more heavy Zergling. Otherwise, why would he get that upgrade as opposed to the other one? Also coming out with the Spire right now, so could be prepared to transition into Corruptors or Mutalists if he does see some Colossus hit the board. Again, we do have this Robotics coming out right now. Level 1 upgrade just about finished. Blink just about finished as well. Also a bunch of upgrades coming out right now for Mondragon. Again, we did discuss that damage upgrade. Are seeing that Roach speed upgrade coming out as well. A bunch of Mutalists right now, about 6 Mutalists coming out, so going to be trying to use that to contain and harass his opponent. And here we go, 3rd expansion going down right now for Mondragon. And we are seeing a push from MaNa, and with those Blink Stalkers, he might be able to move in very quickly, take out that expansion and push out. Now, it's going to be a little more difficult with these Speedlings on the board, but we're going to see if he's able to do so. Getting some nice forward scouting with that Phoenix and pushing down to try to deny this expansion. Going to want to see that canceled right now for Mondragon. And does he cancel it? Yes, he does. I think he canceled it just in time. Lots of Zerglings moving forward, but not quite enough to deal with these Stalkers, especially considering the fact that they have Blink. Going to try to do some damage, but all we're going to see is, blinking back, but we are going to surround on the other side there from some Zerglings. So these Stalkers actually could be in a little bit of trouble. Don't have the best position to blink right now. Trying to blink away the damaged ones, trying to keep them alive as long as possible. And no, full surround made it very difficult, and more Zerglings pushing out right now for Mondragon. Going to continue to surround those Blink Stalkers and prevent them. And there we go, some Zerglings moving forward in preparation of the possibility of the Blink, and does end up losing all those Stalkers. So great surround there by Mondragon. Excellent work. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's all there is to say about that. And a bunch of Mutalisks right now. And again, the goal here is going to be try to deny that third base. He wants to stop him from, he already knows the 2 bases are up, so he wants to stop him from getting that third. More Stalkers over here. We are also seeing that second level upgrade being researched, and Observer coming out right now. So no Colossus quite yet. We are getting that Robotic Spade dropped right now though, so planning that transition to Colossus right about now. Blink Stalker Colossus, very, very strong against Zerg, very difficult to deal with. You know, the idea is that the Blink Stalkers are going to help deal with Corruptors and or Mutalisks that would take out the Colossus easily, and the Colossus obviously are going to be ideal against any ground forces from the Zerg player. So that's the idea there. That's a plan. Continue to spread that creep. Obviously, these rocks are destroyed at this point, so going to be planning on expanding there as well. This expansion, attempt number 2 at the expansion over here. Are seeing a lot of Blink Stalkers over here at this high yield, and going to be trying to get that rocks destroyed. But no, we are seeing a bunch of forces now moving down with those Speedlings and those Mutalisks. Going to be trying to take out those Blink Stalkers. Stalkers blinking away, moving back to home, moving back to safety. But no, that surround being relentless as well, coupled with those Mutalisks. Very difficult for the Blink Stalkers to deal with. We don't have a Colossus coming out right now to deal with the Zerglings, and pushing forward with these Mutalisks and these Zerglings, but nice force fields going down, coupled with all the Stalkers behind the force fields, coupled with that Photon Cannon, force that push back. So obviously, when you've lost your Zerglings and you're very Muta heavy, you don't want to deal with cannons and Blink Stalkers. That's not the best situation for you, Mutalisks. So that's why he was forced to pull back. If he had still had those Zerglings, and if he had been in a better situation, there's no way for those Zerglings to really get us around in this very tight knit area. And again, with those force fields, it pretty much forced him back. But if he can catch those Blink Stalkers in the open, then he's going to feel safe to engage. That's his plan, that's his idea, and he's just going to chill out, just going to continue to get some scouting and wait for that perfect opportunity. We can see here, great job checking those expansions. He's going to be fully aware if MaNa attempts to expand again. He can see both the high yield and that third natural expansion. Also has vision of this expansion over here, so he's going to be fully aware of any attempt from his opponent. Mutalisks staging up in the back of MaNa's base right now. Going to move in and do some harassment. Probably going straight for this pylon. ZCR going to get this pylon. Might move to that pylon as well right after, but we are seeing those Blink Stalkers push forward, and that's going to force those Mutalisks to leave the base. He's going to take heavy losses, dropping the Changeling at the perfect time, and going to be moving forward, and I'm not sure that MaNa's aware of that. No, he's not. He's going to kill it. There we go. So finally killing it, but not before it did get somewhat of a scout of his base. So it did get a little better idea of what exactly his opponent was doing. I'm really liking this placement by MaNa. This obviously, I mean, look at the placement of these buildings here with those units. Very, very difficult for Zerglings to get any sort of surround. Also very difficult for Mutalisks to move in. Sentries are actually very strong against Mutalisks because of that Guardian Shield. Until those Mutalisks are upgraded, drastically reduces that splash damage that they do, and that's obviously a really good situation. Continuing to spread that creep right now. We do have this additional expansion up, and going to be seeing one more expansion over here very likely, so there it is right there. And I don't know right now, Mondragon in a pretty commanding spot right now, moving forward with a bunch of Spine Crawlers, and this is going to help bolster that defense right there. Going to be a little bit difficult for MaNa to push out in. And now, are we seeing no? So deciding, in fact, not to go with that Colossus, kind of unnecessarily getting that Robotic Spade, or maybe just getting it just in case. He just did decide to go instead with these High Templar. Now, the advantage to this, of course, is the High Templar are going to be able to deal with both the Zergling heavy ground force and the Muta heavy air force. Now, the concern, of course, is that Mutalisks being so quick, as well as Zerglings, they can move out of that damage very quickly. But the other flip side of that coin is the fact that these units have relatively low HP compared to many other units, and so even just a little bit of time spent in Storm does result in a lot of damage to those units. Also going to be getting that upgrade, allowing those High Templar to be warped in with a bunch more energy, and that's obviously a good idea because that means more storming going down, and that's the plan there. And yeah, feeling pretty claustrophobic right now though. MaNa's feeling pretty confined in his base, and that's the plan when going for this type of build. When going for speedling heavy with Mutalisks, the idea is to contain your opponent as much as possible, and Mondragon's been doing an excellent job of that. Again, MaNa has not felt comfortable expand, and we can see at this point, just taking a look at the map, drastic advantage right now for Mondragon. Mondragon move forward, denying that high yield expansion. MaNa trying to move down his troops. He needs to stage in the middle. He needs to get an expansion up. If he doesn't, he's just going to fall way too far behind Mondragon at this point. I mean, Mondragon right now sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases compared to the 2 of MaNa, and moving forward forward with these Mutalisks right now, taking advantage of the fact that MaNa has most of his forces at his expansion. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. The idea here, too, is that if MaNa moves his forces inside of his base to try to defend against this Mutalisk push, then we're just going to see a Zergling, Roach, and wow, lots of Banelings. A Roach, Zergling, Baneling push is going to happen, and that's his plan. As soon as MaNa leaves these forces and takes these forces to defend his main base from that Mutalisk attack, we're going to see a very heavy push, and this is not fair right now at all. That is a lot of forces right now for Mondragon. The really only hope for MaNa is if he gets some really solid storms down and manages to do a good job with those force fields to prevent surround from those Zerglings. That's the only way, but man, this is a crap load of units. Very, very, very lot of units right now for Mondragon, and that's going to be a bigger issue for MaNa, and we are seeing a separation of those units preparing for that push. Lots of Banelings moving this direction. The rest of the forces moving over here. Seeing some Infestor play as well. Nice mix of units right now from Mondragon. And here we go. Stalkers pushing forward. Managed to take out the Infestor very quickly, but a surround going down from those Banelings. Roaches going down. Lots of Storms going down. Going to be taking out those Banelings very quickly, but so many Roaches. Storms not very strong against those Roaches, and look at how quickly MaNa's forces got mopped up. Also seeing those Mutalisks move inside of the main base of MaNa. MaNa is in a very tough situation right now. I am not sure he's going to be able to deal with it. There's lots more forces coming out right now as well for Mondragon. 17 more Roaches, 2 more Stalkers, bunch of Zerglings as well. Looks like MaNa might be losing this expansion, and we also have this harassment going down from those Mutalisks in the main base. This is too much for MaNa to deal with. MaNa very, very low on resources right now. This expansion not going to be able to survive too much longer. Zerglings pushing forward. Here come a lot more Banelings moving to the middle line, going to be taking out all the workers, and that is the dagger right in the heart of MaNa in this game. Too much to deal with. Still constant Mutalisk harassment going on in the main base. Going to be taking out those pylons, trying to come out, but Zealots, one High Templar and one Stalker, not going to be enough. That one Storm going down, but just moving right out of the storm immediately, and then going to go harass somewhere else, and MaNa does call good game. So great series between these two players. We kind of saw the same problem here that we did see in an earlier game in the series for MaNa. The fact that he was contained for so long, didn't manage to get up another expansion, and Mondragon was safe to just freely expand, and because of that, he got that huge economic advantage, and you saw that giant discrepancy in army between the two players, and that pretty much allowed Mondragon to roll over the units of MaNa, and it was just too much for him to handle. So yeah, that's it. That's a 4-game series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl and you had a great day. As always, if you enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel, keep watching, and keep owning.